Hello everyone. We're starting the first day of the Meetup iGEM for teams LATAM. And in this meeting, we're going to present the team projects for the iGEM competition of 2022. And starting, I would like to call Giulio Braatz. He is iGEM Ambassador Head for Latin America since 2022. He's a founder and coordinator for the team Sem Fronteiras, or Team UNILA LATAM, and has participated in the 2021 competition with the project Biotech. He has worked in different areas of the project, such as human practices and circuit design, and is now studying biotechnology in the Federal University of Latin America Integration. I'll put you on the screen.
Hello, everyone. How you guys doing? Hi,
Great.
Camila.
Hello.
So let's start. Uh, so first, let me just uh, open here. Uh, so hello, everyone. It's an honor to to be here with guys today. Thanks for Team UFMG-UFV for organizing this amazing event, and thanks Camila again for inviting me to join you. Today, I'll talk about what the iGEM community, you guys may ever know about it, and what's the work us LATAM ambassadors are doing this season. So, uh, iGEM community was formerly known as After iGEM. I don't know if you guys heard of it before. Uh, I truly understand what after iGEM is just after I entered the the organization. So I will try my best to explain this to you guys. Our objective is to invite, engage, and co-create initiatives that will support our community, and also to provide resources and opportunities that will help you in your career goals and you as an individual in general. The story of the iGEM community begins in 2017 when after iGEM was created and the first five ambassadors are recruited. In 2018, this number raises to 10 ambassadors, and in 2019, the seven committees are created. In 2020, we have the coordinators for the first time, and the number of ambassadors raises to 25 in the first pandemic year. So we needed more ambassadors to do a better job and to help do a great competition this year, that year. So last year we had for the first time the five core team members, 42 ambassadors, six steering groups, and four initiatives. The number of people working for the community raised from five in the first year for 128 in 2021. So you can see how the community been developing through these years. Now in 2022, the we have more than 190 people working in the community in the most varied areas like biowork, industry, education, us, the investors, the Phoenix project that provides a database with all previous iGEM projects and make it easy to search for a topic. So if you want to know about what are the things that run it up for the therapeutics track, you can go to the Phoenix project and look for therapeutics and all previous things that worked in that track will appear, and you can look if past teams have similar projects with your project, and that's a really good tool for to have new ideas. We have the mentors network too, that connect mentors with things that are seeking for help. So uh, if you need help in wet lab issues or dry lab, or I don't know, even wiki, you can go to the mentors network, and you will be mentored by someone who can help you make your project even better. Now talking a little bit about the ambassador program. Uh, here, my friends here are. The iGEM ambassadors represent and promote iGEM and synthetic biology in their respective regions. So the iGEM ambassadors are a diverse and international team of regional leaders who experienced iGEM and now work together to promote initiatives to expand iGEM and collaborate with local stakeholders to disseminate cooperation across their community. So, uh, in the ambassador program, we have four main objectives. The first one is to be an interface between the teams and the IGNQ and a voice for their regional IGN communities. The second one would be recruiting potential teams and identifying barriers to the entry of these teams. The third one is to connect with IGEN alumni and help to improve the IGEN community programs. And the last one is to promote or help to create the IGEN League in their respective regions. We already have our design league, right? Uh, Shout out to the design leaguers there. And actually, this year we are having for the first time the Indian League too. So these are the Latin American ambassadors for this year. I don't know. I don't know if Meriano and Samantha are here for them to introduce themselves. Can we do that? Hello.
Hello,
Hi.
everyone. You hear me? So,
Yes.
hello, everyone. I'm Emiliano. I'm a Latin American ambassador. I'm from Mexico. My IGEM experience was participating in 2021 with the Tech Monterrey team, and really nice to meet you all.
Nice. Thank you, Meliana. Is Samantha here already? No. Okay. So we have Samantha Chu. She's alongside me, the other regional head. We have Rodrigo from Peru, Rodrigo and Narca from Peru, and Abril from Mexico too. So these are the faces you can always look for when you we have a question about the competition, about Design League, or you need help in anything. You can always call any of us. Okay. Um, Now I will talk a little about the projects we are currently working on. There is connecting with ambassadors that are WhatsApp groups that we went to catch up on how things are doing. I think everyone here is already in a connecting with ambassador group. If not, please contact us. We can assess what is going on, why you're not in a group yet, but please, this is one of the most the projects that will help things the most, I think, because we are always sharing resources that things may need for the competition. The other one is media ambassadors. This project is to explain to things through a video the role of the ambassadors, and we are having the support from other regions too to make this video. There is the LATAM cycle. Uh, I know that I posted in our WhatsApp group already about the cycle, but this it aims to assess if latent teams can relate with the current iGEM cycle, if they feel represented by the cycle, and how to iGEM in Latam, a guide that will be a handbook with hints and tips on how to do well in the competition. But this project is for the next year teams because the season is already going, and a guide now for the all the season wouldn't be, I don't know, necessary for this. This guide will be for the next year teams. Uh, the last two projects we have are Hacking iGEM, the coding the competition, that are monthly webinars to help teams do better in the competition. Uh, we have partnered with African and European ambassadors here to make these webinars. The first one was about human practice. That was a really good webinar, really inspirational one. And the last one was really also really good about GitLab. I learned a lot from Kevin that gave the webinar. And if you guys wanna see it or rewatch it, they are available at the iGEM universe, and there is more yet to come. The next one will be about entrepreneurship, so stay tuned to that. And the last project we are currently working on is the pitch and match. They are 1 minute pitches to help teams collaborate and partner up. So registrations for the pitch and match are now open, and the event will take place in July 23rd at 3 p.m. UTC. I rightly rightly recommend you guys to participate in this event as well. Uh, so after all we said here before, you can also join iGEM community. If after you experience after the experience you have this year, we like to help other Argentines to grow Simbai stronger, or to work with people from different parts of the world, the community is perfect for you. So if you like to do that, stay tuned to the iGEM community newsletter for more information about that. And I would like to thank again for this opportunity, and I'm open to any questions you may have. Feel free to make it in Portuguese or Spanish. I try my best on Portuñol or Portuguese or English. Well, whatever is the best for you guys. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Liz from iGEM TecCCM, and I'm glad to introduce you the first team. The team is a partnership based at the Federal University of Minas Gerais and the Federal University of Viçosa. It has participated in previous iGEM editions in the years of 2013, 2014, and 2015. This year, they are taking part of the global competition with the project name Braatz. The project aims to be an alternative treatment for helminth infections using prebiotics and at the same time improve the nutritional state of the individuals. Please welcome UFMG-UFV Brazil team.
Everyone, you can hear me? Hello. Hi.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Firstly, I give apologize because my cam is not working. I hope that is not be a problem. And let's go for the presentation. So a moment. Well, my name is Paulo. I'm from Brazil and undergraduate student in biomedical science. and introduce the project My Team iGEM UFMG-UFV. And this presentation aims to introduce us and reveal what the project is for this year. We have 19 active members and also 8 mentors for different institutions like UFMG, UFV, UFBAC, UFSJ, and UFOP that belong to the most diverse areas of knowledge, such as pharmacy, biomedical sciences, biochemistry, bioinformatics, medicine, design, and computer science. Our host university are the Universidade Federal de Minas Gerais and the Universidade Federal de Viçosa. We are installed in the biohacker spaces Ideia Real in UFMG University and the Laboratory of Molecular Biotechnology in UFV University. The next slide are the photos of the team members and their respective areas of activity, and here in wet lab and dry lab sector. And next, the members associated in human practice sector, and members associated in marketing. Here we have 2 photos and institutions and host institutions for this project. And let me talk about for the project background. Human helmintic parasites are among the most prevalent infectious diseases in the world. In Brazil, they are neglected diseases that mainly affect children and teenagers from vulnerable social groups, such as indigenous, rural, and peripheral communities. Its incidence is highly related to cases of malnutrition and subnutrition due to the damage caused by the worms. The most affected subpopulations are children and teenagers from 5 to 15 years old, and whose nutritional damage can compromise their cognitive development for whole life. In this image, we have geographic distributions of the prevalence of Ascaris lumbricoides infections, and we can see the most countries affected are the development countries. Um, as an aggravating factor, the post-pandemic global crisis and current geopolitical events have worsened the Brazilian economic scenario, contributing to the scrapping of public health services. In this context, these vulnerable social groups become ever more exposed to neglected diseases, but to the lack of access to the health and basic infrastructures, as well as the absence of basic sanitation and treated water. The World Health Organization recommends chemoprophylaxis as a public policy to reduce the rate of infections. Although this recommendation has been shown to be efficient in reduced cases, in the long term, use increases the resistance of the parasites to current therapeutic options. Based on these 2 local problems, our team searched a biotechnological solution for helmintic parasites. About project goals. Our scientific sector is developing a new therapeutic options based on a Lactobacillus acidophilus genetically modified to produce and secrete the enzyme chitinase inside the human gut. In this way, the chitin layer of the parasite would be destroyed, eliminating it, and intestinal health would be rescued through the actions of the probiotic. Lactobacillus acidophilus is a bacterium already found in the human gut and commonly used in probiotic related of the treatment of gastrointestinal diseases. Chitinase is an enzyme degrading chitin, which is essential component of the egg walls and pharynx of worms, helminthic nematodes specifically, and its use has been associated with the fight against these parasites. Therefore, we are developing a technology capable for eliminating the worm while helping to nourish the individual. Furthermore, as it is a new therapeutic options or projects acts by allowing in the increase in helminthic resistance. The development of the project also combines other objectives, such as the development of a low-cost bioreactor, allowing for cultivations and testing, and the descriptions of new biological parts for later use by other scientists. This is a script about the workflow, this project. And here in the left, we have Acidophilus and right and chitinase protein and created NGO, GMO, and combine and probiotics nutritional for dying these worms and recovery malnutritional because that's it's very dangerous in disease. Methodology overview. The methodology follows the steps. Choose an endochitinase and exochitinases with the highest activity characterized in the studies. Choose signal peptides for exudations of the compounds. Choose the promoters and appropriate RBS region. Create the designs of buildings and synthesize the pieces. And finally, make the transformations in E. coli and Acidophilus for the validate the chitinase expression profile, and as well as to evaluate its activity and C. elegans. In the computational modeling part, we aim to obtain the therapeutic doses parameters considering the physiological variables of the human gut and the cellular behavior of the GMO. Finally, the team is also developing a bioreactor as hardware for the validations of the microorganisms' production conditions. And next, my colleague.
Hello guys, can you hear me well? So my name is Camila, I'm a pharmaceutical student, and I'm going to explain a little bit more about what we did in human practices. For the human practice, we thought about how we were going to take science to the society, and more specifically, how we're going to meet society's needs, real needs, with synthetic biology and with our project. For that, we started by talking to specialists. So we talked to the Ministry of Health of Brazil so they could guide us a little bit more in what we should aim for, and also to non-governmental organizations, for example, Amigos de Minas, with who we formed in collaboration later on, and also with other specialists, for example, in chitinase, that is the focus of our project, and in infections. From there, we started taking actions, and one of the things that we did was make a collaboration with the NGO called Pequeno Lar, and we started doing scholar accompaniment with the kids from there, showing a little bit more about science, about synthetic biology, and helping with things that they might need in school. You can go on. And also, we got in contact with end users. In our case, we focused on indigenous communities in our country that were going to benefit from our product. And we made a collaboration with the NGO called Amigos de Minas, which means Friends of Minas. Minas is the state that we live in. And we went on a mission with them to the north to meet this developing community and help them with their needs. In this mission, we took donations and helped the community, and also took our time to ask questions and learn about the reality and what they really needed, and to understand a little bit better how to shape our project to actually meet what they need and a way to actually help them. And during our visit, we also created a comic to show a little bit more to these people, to this community, what we do. You can go on, please. So we created a comic. It has no words, so everyone can understand better, despite the language or the level of knowledge this person already has. And it explains a little bit more about synthetic biology and what we do. And then we show to the community so they could um, understand a little bit more. And also, we focused on events that could events that could spread about synthetic biology in our community. You can go back, please. The first event that we did was the Synthetic Biology Week, that was composed with lectures in different fields of synthetic biology. It was a free online event, so it showed people that were interested in about synthetic biology. Then we also organized the Meetup LATAM that we're having now to help the teams that will compete in 2022 in the competition this year. And this event was organized in collaboration with the teams TecCEM, Biotech Ecuador, ITESO Guadalajara, UMA, and Tex Costa Rica. And last but not least, we are now focusing on the 6th edition of the Biological Machine Engineering course. It's a course that was going to be full of practical activities and different classes about biology, about synthetic biology, and also entrepreneurship. And it's a great opportunity for people who want to learn more about synthetic biology and want to learn how to build a project from zero and actually be successful on the project. And also people who want to put hands on the practice and actually take action and make science. And this event is going to occur in the next month, so it's going to occur in August. And actually, the registrations are open, so you can check the link. We'll put the link on the comment section, and I invite you all to take a look at it because it's a really great opportunity. It's going to have practical classes, and it's good for everyone who wants to learn more about synthetic biology, and it's in the beginning or already know something. So I invite you all to take a look at the site. Thank you so much for your attention. You can send any questions that you have on our email, on our Instagram, or you can use the link that we put on the comment section. And the questions that you put on the comment section on this Google Forms will be answered tomorrow on day 2, so do not lose it.
Thank you for invitation too.
Yes, thank you so much.
Hello, good morning. I'm Andrea from the iGEM 1 team, and I'm going to present the next team, that is TecCCM. The name of their project is Idorly, and they're from Mexico City, and they're competing in the category of diagnostics and therapeutic. And the project focuses on developing a biosensor to monitor aging by measuring inflammatory levels. And they seek to generate tools in the field of neuroscience for both researchers and health personnel, with the aim of promoting healthy aging and preventing the development of chronic diseases associated with aging. They participated last year in the iGEM Design League competition, And this year they're participating in the global competition. And last year they won a gold medal, and they were second runner-ups in the competition. So now they're going to present their project.
Oh, yes. Thanks a lot, Andrea. Thanks a lot for the invitation. I'm going to share my screen. Can everybody hear me correctly? Yep.
Yes.
Great. Okay. So now you can all see my screen, right? Well, I hope so. So, yes, Andrea said, I am from Team TecCCM.
We can see your screen.
No, you cannot see my screen. Okay. Oh, yeah. Now you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Thanks a lot. Okay. Well, yeah, as I was saying, I am representing Team TecCCM. This is the first year we are competing in the global iGEM competition. So we are learning, and we are really excited to be here with some other teams from Latin America. So yeah, we are continuing our project from last year, which is inflammatory detector for the elderly. We want it to be a tool for people and for the researchers and health personnel in order to monitor the aging process. So right now, I would ask you to reflect, because I am not going to be able to see the comments real time, but I would like you to think, how many years would you like to live? And what is the first thing that comes into your mind when you hear the word aging? So I would like you to do this experiment. Ask yourselves, maybe ask someone that is next to you, someone at your house, or your friends. And it's really interesting when you hear their answers. Most of the people in Latin America won't like to live like too much, because they are instantly associating it with some of the words that you may be thinking right now. So I'm gonna continue. I'm hoping to see your responses later, maybe if you are posting it on YouTube or another channel. But yeah, most of the words that people associate with aging is wrinkles, difficulties, dependence, and mostly diseases, right? So we did a survey last year, and these were one of the most common words that people relate when they hear the word aging. And also, this is a really important problem, because this process, which is a biological process that all humans face, um, is going to increase, or is going to bring really challenges for the Latin American countries, because in 2050, according to the UN, 80% of the elderly will live in low and middle income countries. So we are going to face an increasing in the aging population, but also because of our health style, our genetics, and some other factors, aging is correlated actually with age-related diseases. So why don't we correlate aging with healthy aging, with, I don't know, experience, wisdom? Is because of the context and of the problems we're having to face, or we're facing right now as a country and worldwide. So in order to being able to reach 100 years and being able to do our favorite activities, like, I don't know, running, spending time with our friends, being absolutely independent, we have to monitor our aging process. So for this, we have to quantify the pace at what the population is aging, meaning that maybe we can have the same age, maybe we can have 20 years, 22 years, or 35 years, but a person with the same chronological age can be aging at a different time because of their genetics, because of some other external factors. And in order that we can have interventions properly, and good interventions to let them reach a healthy aging, we have to see what's the pace at what they are aging. So yeah, going a little more in context, well, we are participating in the diagnostics track, and also, well, aging is a really complex process that is still being researched. Scientists are trying to find the answers to the question that, why do we age? What is the things that happen in our body that make us age? Why do people develop chronic diseases? Why do people live 100 years. So the most accurate answer right now is that several scientists found out that there are molecular bases that determine the aging phenotype of a person. These are called the hallmarks of aging, and specifically our team will focus on a chronic biomarker, well, several biomarkers, but that are correlated with inflammation. So inflammation is a hallmark of the aging phenotype, meaning that when we age, the basal levels that we have of inflammation will increase, but meaning on how much they increase and at what pace they increase, we will have or not the development or the tendency or the probability to develop several age-related diseases that are correlated with inflammation, right? So we are focusing on inflammation associated with the aging phenotype, and our project mainly focuses on developing a biosensor using the aptamers as a detection technology, to detect certain biomarkers that are present in blood that will let us monitor this aging process or this aging phenotype based on chronic inflammation levels. So our three main parts are aptamers, which are a novel detection technology in order to use them as an alternative to antibodies, because they are they cost less and they can be easier to produce, and they can also be more specific and more stable. And also we would like to make this like a public health approach, because all of us should be able to have access to this technology or to these tools in order to monitor our aging process and to prevent age-related diseases. So we would like to make it an approach of a point of care. So that's why we are proposing a lateral flow, which is multiplex, the meaning that we are going to detect several biomarkers, easy to use and low cost. The biomarkers that we have established right now, but that we are still researching and validating them, are CRP, CXCL9, and TNF alpha. These are all inflammatory biomarkers and have been correlated with another diseases such as cardiovascular diseases or cancer. So that is why we are focusing on how can we measure them in a low cost, specific, sensitive way, so that we can all have this tool, and researchers and medical sector, in order to monitor our aging process. So this is like a diagram of how are we going to do this, how is the structure that we are planning. So we are going to use aptamers as the detection technology. Aptamers have the affinity similar as an antibody. They detect a biomarker, and then the protein attaches to this aptamer, and then you can see a signal. It works such as like the COVID rapid tests or the pregnancy test. We're planning it to be this way, and with using blood as a sample. So, well, this is our main design. And, well, we will also like to use this space to be open for collaboration. If any team is working on aging or any age-related diseases, we would be delighted to be in contact with them. And also, if they would like to collaborate in another technical aspects such as aptamers, lateral flow, point of care, modeling. And with our human practices team, we are planning to do an activity that is aging around the world. So we would like to collaborate with teams from all over the world from the competition to know what's the perception of aging worldwide and how is this a global problem, but it is totally local when we research of how aging is perceived among every cultural society. So we are open for letting us know what you are working on, collaborating. So thanks a lot. And these are our social media. If you want to reach out, we are open. And thanks a lot for the space. And I think that is everything. If you have any doubts about the project, if you would like to know more, please get in touch, and we'll be looking forward to answering all your questions.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I am very happy to meet you all. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Ethan Vargas. I am part of the iGEM Costa Rica team. I would like to call the next team up, Team Unicamp Brazil. iGEM Unicamp is a team from Campinas State University. They hasn't participated in iGEM since 2011 with the project Styropolis, but they are planning to come back this year in the global competition with an unnamed project at the moment. Before they start, do not forget to check your email box for tomorrow's Zoom link. And remember that if you have not registered yet, you can check the comment section for the link. And you can send any question you have in the forms linked below, and the questions will be answered by the team members tomorrow. So, are you ready, guys?
Guys, unfortunately, Team Unicam had a problem and they couldn't make it in time. So please wait a little bit and we'll just continue with the normal presentations. Neil, now you can start the presentation. We are seeing you. Your microphone is off. We can hear you.
Now it's all right?
Yes.
Oh, hi. Good afternoon. Sorry, I have a delay with my computer, a problem. And thank you for patience. So I will begin the presentation. Mm. Can you see the presentation?
Yes, we can.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So good afternoon. I am Nino Flores. I represent the team Unicamp Brazil. So our project doesn't have a name yet, but we have the project. So I will show you what we have been doing until now. So what a project, it's about bacterial cellulose. As we know, some Argentines had already presented bacterial cellulose. And it's, as we know, it's exceptionally versatile. It's a natural biomaterial, and it can be obtained by a variety of acetic producing bacteria, for like Comagotobacter. And this bacteria is commonly found in fermented foods, such as kombucha. Kombucha is very used. It's a tea, and it has very medical properties. And what the interest of us is the cellulose that it forms. So, as I said, Comagotobacter is one of the bacteria that are found in kombucha. As we know, we have other bacteria and other fungus too, but we are interested in Comagotobacter. And what is difficult about Comagotobacter is it's different. Its metabolic pathways. We were searching some articles and reviews, and we found some of the scientific reports that they reconstruct the metabolic pathway of Comagotobacter. And they found that there are 8 genes that are the ones that are responsible of the formation of bacterial cellulose. So what we wanted to do is to find those genes that can allow us to grow the bacterial cellulose in Comagotobacter. So what else we are finding? As we know, Brazil is the largest, one of the largest orange producers in the world, and generates a lot of waste, more or less like 60%, 60% of the waste of the world. And this requirement shows that need to develop new techniques for these residues. So what we thought is, since kombucha or Comagotobacter needs some carbohydrates for its growth, what we choose is orange juice. So we will have both things going on. We'll have both applications, the therapeutic parts and the environmental part. That's why we thought that for our medium we will use a orange juice for growing Comagotobacter. As we know, Comagotobacter, and it's one, as I said, one of the producers of bacterial cellulose. And this will replace the vegetal cellulose, which Brazil too is one of the largest producers of bacterial cellulose. So what are we going to do as team? Our project, we are in collaboration with Universidad de Araraquara University, with Professor Hernandez, which he has been working a lot with the production of cellulose bacterial. But his great problem is that he cannot produce a large scales. Kombucha needs a medium that has to be quite really pure and to optimize. And what we know is that the bacteria can produce this bacterial cellulose, but not a large scale. So we want to optimize that production. What we will do is, using bacterial engineering techniques, we'll obtain a purer and quality product that we'll use in medical applications. As I said, using the waste of orange juice. So first, we were inspired in the team, Imperial team, iGEM 2014, in which they designed a toolkit. They designed a toolkit for Comagotobacter. So what we are going to do is design our own toolkit with the strains we have of Comagotobacter from the University of Araraquara. Using that strains, we'll design our own toolkit, but inspired in Imperial College team, in which they do a golden gate assembly, but they use two bacteria, Comagotobacter and other E. coli for this golden gate assembly. The next step will be to optimize the strains for the hash environment of the orange reduces for bacterial cellulose production. So one we had isolated the mutants. We will cultivate in orange medium. We know that already that this Comaghetobacter grows in this medium because we have tested. But what we want to test now is if our the one we are going to do with the engineering techniques with our overexpressing genes for the formation of bacterial cellulose will grow better in orange medium. And we wanted to do it later in a large scale, and the result will have the bacterial cellulose. So next, after having this evaluated, we wanted to see if, how would be if we had a purer cellulose. We know that dependent a lot of the medium with the medium and the temperature, and and if it's more acid or not, and the oxygen, the formation of the bacterial cellulose could be purer or no. And what we are going to test will be if we can form a prothesis, a 3D prothesis in a 3D printing. So our final our final application will be do a prothesis of bacterial cellulose. So as we know, more applications, because after doing this, we want to see if we could have other applications about this bacterial cellulose. And we know it could, as the applications are in health, like artificial skin, blood vessels, healing scaffolds, drug deliveries. We can use it in food, motion stabilizers, dietary fiber, cosmetics like facial mask, cream, contact lenses, and many other applications. So what we really want to do is optimize the bacterial cellulose production and later produce it in a large scale. We have seen some reviews and some other iGEM teams that they have already worked with kombucha, and they have already worked with bacterial cellulose, but all they had the same problem, that they couldn't optimize the growth of the bacterial cellulose in a large scale. So this is one of my main objectives, that not only will help to replace the vegetable cellulose, but too, we will have a better product that we could be used in the industry, not just in medical, around the world. So we want to work in this project, and we have, as I said, we have already a collaboration with other university, and two, we are going to see the collaborate to some hospitals. So another thing that we are thinking about is a part of environmental part. As I say, we are going to use orange juice for this. And this will reduce the cost, because producing bacterial cellulose requires a lot of medium. And what we want to think is how we can produce in a large scale without having elevated cost. So we are thinking that alternative for agro-industrial applications. Another thing is the environmental part, since we are going to use a waste of industrial orange production. And this will have an impact in the environmental part. So these are the two things we were thinking in our project. And the reference we use. And as I said before, we are inspired in some iGEM teams, and we want to create something more inspired in those iGEM teams. So thank you very much. I don't know if you have some questions.
Good afternoon, everybody. Do you hear me? Okay. So I'm Natalie Romero from the iGEM design team, iGEM Biotech Ec. Today I will be the mediator for the next project, which is the berry bags. The berry bags is from the team iGEM ITESO, a team from Guadalajara, Mexico, formed formed by 12 engineers and art students and other personnel. They have participated in iGEM design team last year, and their model and project this year will be attending for the Giant Jamboree. Berrybugs is a solution for fungal plagues in the region, and also that are attacking the crops and are drastically reducing production and also the profit or of the people that are involved in this project. The main goal of this team is to help local farmers and boost economy so that they can have a better quality of life. Also, you can find this team on Instagram and also on Twitter as iGEM Iteso and also as iGEM Iteso on Twitter. So I ask the next team to come and expose their project.
Hi guys, I'm not sure if you can see my screen right now. Well, just let me know. And oh. Well, I really don't know if you guys can hear me, but I'm Claudia, and we are iGEM TecCCM. I'm going to present to you a bit of what we do and our journey as a team. So, as I said, I'm Claudia. I'm a biotechnology engineering student at ITESO, and right now Sofia and I are the current team leaders for the team. We're a multidisciplinary team from Guadalajara, and we're working on a solution which is called berrybugs, and it is for fungal plagues in berry crops in our region. Our journey as a team has involved many aspects, and we want to share some of them, not only the science, but also how we have struggled as a team. So I want to share with you this video, which is a brief summary of what we do and what we've done.
¿Alguna vez te has preguntado cómo y de dónde viene la comida en tu cocina? Nosotros nos preguntamos eso sobre la historia de nuestra fruta favorita, las berries, y descubrimos que su consumo se ha triplicado.
I'm sorry, guys.
¿Alguna vez te has preguntado cómo y de dónde viene la comida en tu cocina? Nosotros nos preguntamos eso sobre la historia de nuestra fruta favorita, las berries, y descubrimos que su consumo se ha triplicado durante la última década. Además, México es de los principales exportadores de estos frutos a nivel mundial. De acuerdo con el Instituto de Información Estadística y Geográfica del Estado de Jalisco, solo en el estado la industria de berries genera más de 20,000 empleos. Sin embargo, los agricultores deben lidiar con muchos problemas para cultivar sus berries.
Tras realizar y analizar varias entrevistas a trabajadores y productores y comercializadoras de este sector, pudimos concluir que los problemas que más los afectaban eran las plagas fúngicas y la escasez de agua.
Por eso, creamos berrybugs, una fitovacuna capaz de mantener el sistema inmune de las plantas alerta, con la ayuda de Bacillus subtilis, una bacteria presente en el suelo de los cultivos. Además, cuando berrybugs detecta hongos patógenos en el suelo, empieza a producir sustancias antifúngicas para detener el problema antes de que pueda afectar a la planta.
Estamos muy emocionados de poder llevar el cultivo de berries al siguiente nivel, de una manera sustentable y efectiva.
El futuro del control de plagas ya está aquí. iGEM y TecCCM, juntos por el campo mexicano.
So that's a bit of what we do. We are the second generation of iGEM y TecCCM, and really everything has been a challenge, not only figuring out how to work as a team, but also finding experts for the symbio part, for the mathematical model part, for the production plant, for everything. Some of us had participated in iGEM before, but we really hadn't coordinated a team like at this level. We've had some guidance, but we really didn't know what we had signed up for and the amount of work it really is. So I wanted to talk about this topic because it's something that we really struggled to define, our current workflow. Project areas didn't really work for us, so we divided ourselves by projects to which you can sign up based on your interests. This has allowed us to also include people from our community that are interested in the project but don't really want to participate as a team member. So each project has a leader, but we all have the same amount of responsibility and work to do in this project.
We participated in iGEM Design League, where we won a silver medal and a special prize for the best presentation video, and we really learned a lot from this experience. First, we learned that we really need to step up our Symbio game. We had a great idea, but it really needed a lot more effort to make it real and to make it happen. We also learned that we are great communicators, and we turned that into our forte. We started offering that on our content creation to sponsors and using it to sell our project in the best possible way. iGEM Design League really helped us to see our mistakes, and we really recommend participating in this as a first step before going to a giant jamboree, because we really observed our dynamic as a team and were able to correct ourselves based on that. This year, we are focused on the entrepreneurship part, our project for indigenous inclusion, which is for education and communication, and of course, the lab work. So entrepreneurship has really become one of our fortes as well. First, we focus on the validation, which includes interviews and crop visits. We have around 20-hour-long interviews with local farmers and experts, and this has really allowed us to validate our idea and tailor it to the current needs of the farmers. We also developed the business model canvas and the value proposal. This basically includes who we are, what we do, who we sell, and how. We got this to study our market, and for this we use tools such as the empathy map. Our current value proposal is a product that is both preventative and corrective without the need of lab testing or additional products, all while keeping the fruit organic and the ecosystem safe. We took all of the information we got in these interviews and combined it with our lab work to come up with a product and the way it has to be sold. With this information, we determined it had to be a liquid with a specific concentration and that it had to be applied through the irrigation system in the field. So we really recommend this step to determine the product design and the way it has to be sold. As a team, we have participated in many entrepreneurship events and contests, which has allowed us to also get more funding for our project. And we also developed the simulation of the production plant using SuperPro, and this way we got to obtain real costs, or the more real they can get. So some challenges and learnings from this is that after using some standard tools in entrepreneurship, we realized we really didn't know what the next step was. We have the business model canvas, we have the way we want to commercialize this product, we have really everything in theory, but we're missing the next step to really become it, or to make it real. And we found that this is an especially hard step in symbio businesses, which isn't really a struggle for other type of businesses, which leads to our next learning, which is that symbio entrepreneurship needs very different things compared to traditional businesses and how they are made. So for our indigenous inclusion project, which is the next part, this is part of our human practices and as well as our education and communication. We want to mix Occidental science with the ancestral knowledge from our culture and bring their POV to the conversation on the topic of agriculture and the challenges they face as workers in this industry. We find that people here, they have a really different view on agriculture and on nature, which is discarded just for not being an Occidental or for not fitting in the scientific model, but it doesn't mean it's less valid. So we want to bring it to the conversation and just really attract people to knowing this. And it's another way of knowing the world. So for our lab work, right now we have modeled our genetic circuit and it's specifically to combat Fusarium and Botrytis, which are the main fungal plagues that affect berry crops in our region. We are focused on plagues that attack the roots because they are the most harmful. And as we said before, this works as a vaccine. When it detects the presence of this fungal plague, the organism is capable to produce the antifungal substances so that the plant can remain healthy. we decided on this type of plagues because they are the ones that you cannot notice until the plant is about to die and until most plants are already contaminated as well. So they brought the most loss to the farmers and to people involved in the industry. So our current lab progress, we added genes for surfactant overexpression, expression of specific antifungal substances that are activated when the plague is detected, and the kill switch, which is necessary for the competition and for the biocontention of our project. And we're currently looking for experts to validate our circuit because it's the first circuit we have made, and we have people that know what they're doing, but we want someone that is more involved in this aspect so that they can bring their expertise to us. Our iGEM kit hasn't come in yet, so we have been working on the standardization of the transformation of Bacillus subtilis and Bacillus amylocephasciens, which is the two organisms we chose on based on knowledge that we had from our university. And they're both organisms present already in the soil in Jalisco, so that's another reason why we chose them. We're currently comparing which one grows the best and the most when transformed. This standardized protocol to transform cells and introduce a plasmid is being done using piglo with green fluorescent protein. And we have determined this protocol by ourselves based on many other protocols from iGEM teams or from our university. Our progress has been good, but we haven't really gotten the expected results. So we will keep on working as a team in lab so we can present a functional genetic circuit in iGEM in October. I don't know if you guys have any questions or anything you guys need help with. You can contact me or anyone from our team. These are our social media, and we are happy to collaborate or to help in any way we can. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Claudia. I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Well, hi, my name is Carol Melissa Sardo Mejias, and I'm from Costa Rica iGEM team. And I'm glad to introduce you the Metropolitan Autonomous University, also known as UAM, iGEM team for the 2022. The name of their project is Spidicide, and it is about the design of a novel pesticide based on spider venom peptides. This in a form of cell-free system that can be easily used by local farmers. During the iGEM Design League 2021, in which they were the first runner-up team, they focused on the novel pests. But this year, they are expanding to their national crops like avocado and agave. But before they start, do not forget to check your email box for tomorrow's Zoom link. And if you did not enroll yet, you can check the comment section for the link. You will only receive the link access if you enroll there, so don't forget to join us tomorrow at the Zoom meeting. And so with you all, UAM iGEM Team 2022.
Team UM is also had a problem accessing the link, so just wait a little bit and they'll be right here presenting the project.
¿Sabías cuál era el nombre de América antes de la invasión europea? El pasado 14 de abril se celebró a nivel continental el Día de las Américas para reivindicar la unión voluntaria de esta comunidad continental. Se eligió el 14 de abril porque en el año 1890 la primera conferencia internacional americana creó la Unión de las Repúblicas Americanas, actualmente conocida como OEA. El nombre de América fue colocado luego de la llegada de Cristóbal Colón al continente en 1492. En honor a Américo Vespucio. Se dice que Américo Vespucio fue el primero en considerar a América como un nuevo continente, a diferencia de Cristóbal Colón, que pensaba que era parte de las Indias. Fue en el año 1507 que apareció el nombre América por primera vez en un mapamundi. Lo cierto es que antes de la invasión europea a nuestro continente, los nativos ya tenían un nombre para las tierras que habitaban. Este nombre era Abya Yala, que significa tierra en plena madurez. Fue un término utilizado por los Kuna, pueblo originario que habita en Colombia y Panamá. De acuerdo con el momento histórico vivido, se referían a este territorio de diferentes formas: Cuagalum Yala, Tagargum Yala, Tinia Yala y Abya Yala, siendo este último el que coincidió con la llegada de los europeos. Aunque los diferentes pueblos originarios que habitan el continente atribuyan nombres propios a las regiones que ocupan, por ejemplo Tahuantinsuyu, Anahuac, Pindorama, la expresión Abya Yala viene siendo cada vez más usada por ellos, con el objetivo de construir un sentimiento de unidad y pertenencia. Es muy importante difundir la historia de nuestros pueblos originarios, muchos de los cuales desaparecieron tras oponerse al saqueo europeo. Recordar que nuestro continente posee el nombre de Abya Yala es un pequeño paso para dejar de lado la historia eurocéntrica que siempre nos han enseñado. Si te gustó el video, te invito a compartirlo y a suscribirte al canal.
Team Year 1 is here now. You can start your presentation. Thank you guys for waiting. It's all yours.
Thank you. Let me share my screen. Please let me know if you can see it properly.
Yes, we can see.
Okay. Well, hi everyone, and thank you for the invitation to this meeting. Well, I'm Luis Carrasco. I'm working in the WAM team this season, and I'm working in the protein modeling and safety and biosecurity areas. And right now I'm going to talk to you about a little bit of our project that we're working on, and this little project that we call Spidey. First thing first, and with this, a little bit of context. In Mexico, the nopal is, as you can see in the slide, is our special plant. I mean, it's in our flag, so it has to be important. But not seriously. This plant has a meaningful impact in our culture because it is present since the establishment of Tenochtitlan and until now in our gastronomy, and even in the rude Mexican slang with someone says to another one nopal face. But let's just keep the gastronomy point because that's why the nopal represents an economic support in our country. And an example of this is this statistical data that just in Mexico City, the 24.2% of the national production of nopal is just in the center of the country. So we can have an idea with this amount of percent how important this plant is. Okay. Sorry. Now, the nopal has what I like to say its enemies or in a formal way to say it, potential threats, such as picudo barrenador, grano cochinilla, mancha negra, pudredumbre blanca, gallina ciega, and picudo de la espina del nopal. Knowing that by our researching the registered data, we had a chat with experts and a little bit of community engagement to confirm the main threats, so we can focus on the problem and trying to give a solution. And the result of this was this little weevil called Picudo barrenador that likes to eat nopal. But there is another problem. How do the farmers deal with the with the pest, well, with pesticides. And this solution is very popular around the world in any crops. And as we can see on the map here on the left, where the darker is the green, the more the use of the biopesticides. And the thing with that is that at least in Mexico, it's very common the use of the red label pesticides such as Braatz. And these red label pesticides represents a high risk to the environment and human beings, and it could damage the crops. It could poison the food and water, and also pollution in the soil. It could cause an ecosystem imbalance and economic losses, and also eventually with the constant use of these red level pesticides, it could eventually cause cancer. And as a fun fact, the nopal crops, well, no, in the nopal crops, there are no authorized chemical pesticides for pest control. So here is a potential solution we could make. So we're proposing the use of two spider venom peptides for to use it as a biopesticide. Why? Well, it represents some advantages over chemical pesticides, such as a selectivity. So we don't harm beneficial insects, and we can focus the activity of the biopesticide just in the level that we are interested. And also, these biopesticides is environment friendly, safe to vertebrates, and thanks to its structure with a lot of disulfide bonds, they do the right interaction we need to manage this Weevil pest. The first peptide we're using is the omega hexatoxin HEV2A, that is the one that is in the left, and this from the Australian spider Adronychia hirsuta. And this peptide inhibits the voltage gate calcium channels of insects, and with that it will inhibit the neuronal activity and then causing the death. For the second peptide we are using is the OIB1, or this long name. And this peptide is from the Australian spider, Selenotypus plumipes, and also, well, not also. In this case, this peptide inhibits the voltage-gated sodium channels of insects, and similar to the last peptide, it cause damage to nervous central system and eventually cause death. And long story short, both peptides affect mainly the Coleoptera order, including our little friend, the Picudo barrenador, but also it could affect the another orders such as Diptera, Orthoptera, and Dictyoptera superorder. But to avoid these effects, to avoid the affectation to beneficial insects, we adjust the right concentrations of both the peptides in the biopesticides. But also in our biopesticides, and to achieve the effects of the peptides, we need to use a transport protein, and for this we're using the lectin from the Galanthus nivalis, because we need to protect our peptides from the proteases of the stomach in the insect. So it gives a stability to those proteases, and we ensure that it will affect their neuronal activity, and eventually they will die. And to prove the, no, sorry. And to end all this, well, kind of end, to synthesize our peptides, we're using two chassis, Pica pastoris and E. coli, to synthesize our peptides by using these two promoters. And I'm not gonna get into details because of time, but in long terms, that's how we are getting the peptides. And also you can ask them if you have any questions. And to prove, and the last thing that I want you to know is that to prove the efficiency of our pesticides is this proof of concept. To determine the toxicity in the Picudo barrenador, this proof of concept consists of feed the larva and adult insects of this weevil to observe the susceptibility and to determine the efficiency of the of sorry to determine the efficiency of the biopesticide. Mm, and well, here are the references we're using in these slides. If you want to read a little bit more of this topic and our contact info if you want to follow our progress during this season. And I don't know if you have any question, commentary. So.
Hi, everyone. Well, first of all, thank you very much. My name is Sofia Marquez, and I'm part of the team iGEM in Guadalajara, Mexico. I'm glad to present to you our next team. They are iGEM TecCCM. They are working on their project Hydro Defense, defending crops against disruptors, and will enter the global iGEM competition this year. They are Don't forget to enroll for tomorrow, and the Zoom link will be sent to your email. You can enroll with the link in the comment section. Also, if you have any questions, don't forget to write them down in the forms link below. With nothing left to say, let's hear more about TecCCM. You can enroll with the link in the
Hello, everyone. Let's wait for the rest of our team to join.
Hi everyone, we are iGEM TecCEM, and the focus we decided on for our project is the impact of EDCs in crops and agriculture in our country, Mexico. So, what are EDCs? They are various chemicals that disrupt the endocrine system of living beings because they mimic our hormones. Recently, they've been found in water, blood, food, and basically everywhere. They come from plastic and microplastics, and that's why they are all over the place. EDCs are known to cause health problems such as cancer, affect the offspring of animals, and cause changes in plants and its productivity in agriculture. The reason is we're being polluted with EDCs and water is used to grow crops, and thus they get affected too. The biosensor we are proposing is based on the substrate competition in receptors in the human body between hormones and EDCs. Since the receptors are sensible to these chemicals, we choose alpha human estrogen receptor to bond in the ligand binding domain with BPA, one of the most worrying endocrine disrupting chemicals.
Next slide, please. After first of all, thank you for having all of us here. And then this protein must be immobilized in quartz crystal microbalance. The aim is to not only to detect them but to quantify them. And this is achieved through the use of gold nanoparticles, not only as the immobilizers, but also as amplifiers, signal amplifiers, and signal enhancers. So these are like the extension of the piezoelectric material. And this is mainly how our biosensor works.
So now hitting a bit on the part of the degradation, our project has like many parts, many focuses, and one of them is actually knowing what occurs with these EDCs, which are our main target, and know what are their effects on the plants, and also how can we degrade them. So our targets, our special focus is in bisphenol A and carbamazepine, because these two EDCs are very present on agricultural zones and water used for agricultural purposes. So with this focus, the objective for us is to know the effects of these EDCs, specifically on lettuce. The selection of this crop was made by considering characteristics of the states in Mexico, the water that was used, the main crops that they use, a lot of data related to the soil. That's why we ended up using lettuce, also because it's a fast test subject. And right now we're currently running these essays with the carbamazepine and the bisphenol A to know exactly what are the toxic damages that could be generated by these EDCs on the plant. We're going to be doing all these experiments in vitro, and that's exactly what we're going to be observing here. This is to know the effects of the effects of the plants on this thing.
Now, clearly, our project would not be complete without a method that only allows us to detect EDCs, but also to eliminate them. This is why we designed a filter that accomplishes this task. This filter is designed in three parts: the inlets and outlets of the water flow, which are pieces with the strings to be directly adaptable to the hoses in the irrigation system. Then, the filter body. This is based on microfluidic serpentine system, but on a macro scale, where water flows in a zigzag way through silica plates with degrading enzymes and reaches the fluent part. And finally, the silica plates. These plates have hundreds of particles that cover the surface. These particles are zeolites, minerals composed of aluminum and silicon that have a hollow box shape. They perform the function of a cage since they contain inside the immobilized enzyme, which will be locked in the zeolite and will be in direct contact with a water sample, carrying out the degradation work without worrying of other external factors. Now we will talk about the safety project.
Okay, hi. So apart from our main project, we're going to explain you our safety project. Okay, as we know, the use of antibiotics has gained a lot of popularity in recent years due to the serious consequences in human health and the environment if it is not manipulated in a correct and safe way. Therefore, we are looking for alternatives that can efficiently replace the use of antibiotics in the laboratory. That is why, next, please. That is why we have designed a solution marker, aiming to make possible the implementation of synthetic biology experimental procedures without the using of antibiotics, by instead using isogenol. So what is isogenol? Isogenol is an antimicrobial compound that is found in clover and cinnamon essential oils and represent no hazard towards to human health and the environment, and have been proven to be efficiently inhibit the growth of E. coli and other microorganisms at low concentration.
Okay, so isogenol has an oily consistency. So we had to run different experiments. And as a conclusion, we discovered that vortexing and sonication steps are necessary in order to properly incorporate isogenol into liquid and solid medium. The experiments we tried this with was with Luria bertani, and we used E. coli DH5 alpha to culture, and we determined that the minimum inhibitory concentrations are 2.5 for liquid media and 4.5 millimolar for solid media, which corresponds to a very little amount, which makes this alternative not be expensive. And next one, please. Thank you. So we also designed a biobrick with the coding sequence for an enzyme called isogenol monooxygenase that is going to give the bacteria resistance towards isogenol. And this is because of the capability of this enzyme to directly convert isogenol into vanillin, which is a substance that these bacteria can tolerate at lower concentrations than isogenol. And if this went out right, we should not only be able to obtain bacterial growth, but we should also be able to perceive smell of vanilla, which could be another indicator that our bacterial transformation has been made correctly.
And finally, to verify the affinity of this enzyme towards to isogenol, we have performing different molecular docking, and we have very good results. We have very nice molecular dockings.
So this is the main concept of our project. We hope to have made things clear, and we are happy to hear your opinions or answer your questions if there are any. So thanks for your attention.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Alejandro Chavez from Costa Rica's iGEM team. I would like to call up the next team, Team USP-EEL-Brazil. They have participated in previous iGEM editions, such as 2016, 18, and 2021. In 2021, they presented the Honorato project, and in 2022, they're going to be presenting a new version of this project. It is an alternative for the use of conventional antiphytic serum, since it is about the development of a drug that uses synthetic biology to synthesize inhibitors of the necrosis and hemorrhage effects of the pit viper bite. Before they start, I want to remind all of you that tomorrow the event is going to take place in Zoom, and you can enroll to receive the link by email. You can find the link to the platform to enroll in the comments. And also, there is a form linked in the comments, so you can send your questions to the lecturer. This form will be used tomorrow on the Q&A activity. So again, let's welcome the USP-EEL-Brazil team.
Hi everyone. I'm presenting my screen right now. Just a sec. So, hi everyone, I'm Paula. I'm one of USP-EEL team leaders, and this is William. He's a team
Hello.
member, and we are presenting our project. It's Honorato project, and it is about a new perspective in the treatment of ophidic accidents. Those are our sponsors, and we are very welcome for them because they are allowing us to participate in iGEM again. Well, this is our team. We have been in Global iGEM three times. This is our first time. We are all members of Synthetic Biology Club of our college, and it is a study group, and its major concern is to spread the word of synthetic biology to the society as a whole. So, well, that's our okay. We need to talk about a problem before we explain what is our project, right? So in Brazil, in 2020 alone, we had more than 21,000 ophidic accidents. Of those, 121 led to the death of the victims. Worldwide, we can talk about 81 to 138 deaths per year. So it's a lot of people dying by this disease because it is classified as a for the World Health Organization as a neglected disease. So we need to talk about it. We need to make researches about it. And well, it's very important. In the case of Brazil, the bullfrog cause the most cases of ophidic accidents, snake bites, is because of snakes of the bullfrog chitinus. So this is why we chose bullfrogs jararaca to be more specific. Well, there's another problem that we need to talk about. When we produce the classic antiphytic serum, we use large animals, such as horses. It is complicated because it is expensive. It's complicated to transport it because it needs to be refrigerated, and also only big hospitals, big centers have the antiphytic serum. So poor places and small towns don't have it. So it's very complicated, and the problem is the time when you get the snake bite and the time where you get the serum. So that's why it's very complicated, and we need to bring another solution. We need to talk about it. We need to do something. Well, in 2021, the Honorato project arises to iGEM, global iGEM, and we chose myonecrosis. It is a problem, right? And it is caused by phospholipase A2. Well, I have a question. What would happen if a snake bites itself? Well, you may be wondering, would the snake die? Well, it wouldn't, because in the venom of the snakes, they have natural inhibitor for their own venom, so it wouldn't happen. The snake wouldn't die. In fact, nothing would happen. Well, we decided to use a natural inhibitor. In the case of phospholipase A2, the inhibitor is PLA phospholipase inhibitor, and it is phospholipase A2 is responsible for myonecrosis. In 2021, we were one of the winners of iGEM Pact, and it was very helpful for us. In 2022, we are bringing Honorato again to iGEM, and this time we are talking about internal bleeding, not myonecrosis. It is caused by an enzyme called charaxin, and its inhibitor is called BJ46A. Our main concern is to control hemorrhagic activity very quickly and in an effective way.
Well, hello everyone. I'll be talking about what we are doing in our sector of human practices in our project. We divided some topics, and right now I'm going to talk about what we're doing for education. Well, to provide better education, we are presenting our project and talking about synthetic biology to schools, kids from middle school and to universities. And we are talking about our project, synthetic biology, and also about which they should do in case of anophetic accident. Because here in Brazil, at least, it's not very defined what you should do. We know that the person should go to the hospital to take the serum, but in the midways, they always do something that they shouldn't because of some misleading information. So we are doing a lot of presentations. The kids are being great. They are very interested in the topics, and this is why we are presenting also a tournament next month to really install this passion for synthetic biology. So for synthetic biology that we all have, and that is great. Communication. This topic is to present what we're doing to really transpass our information to communities and to the world. So we have a book of synthetic biology that is being used by the kids in the projects they are making, and also used by a team in England as a collaboration so that they can do their own tournament using our book. It will also be used for our tournament, but with some changes rather making, but we have it, and yes. We also use iGEM. iGEM is a big stage where we will be using to present our project and to show the importance of treating orthopedic accidents that is not that well funded in our country. And we are also presenting information in our social media. Weekly, we are posting new things to help everyone with information so that they can know better what to do in case of orthopedic accidents or news about science and synthetic biology in general. Well, talking about our partners, I'll first talk about USP-EEL-Brazil, which is a medical laboratory. It is the second biggest producer in Brazil of this serum for orthopedic accidents. And they are providing us a lot of information that we are using in our project and a lot of information about how the poison works, how the snakes, for example, how the habits of the snakes impact in how the poison is developed in the snakes. So different places in Brazil with the same species of snakes also have different poisons. So different serums don't have the same effects. For example, they're providing us a lot of information that is very important. For the schools that we are making our presentations, they are associated with iGEM, which is our university project for education. They do classes for kids in need. And also the project in our university, Projeto Criança Feliz, Project Happy Children. They do this thing with kids that they help kids in need to really give them the youth that they should have with fun and also education. And also, we are partners with Team USP-BR in the Brazilian Olympics. Brazilian Olympic of Synthetic Biology. There is a tournament that will also happen here about synthetic biology.
We made a structural modeling of our protein and our inhibitor. Well, we use softwares, PyTalk and Modeler. And basically, in structural modeling, we need to see the interaction between the inhibitor, BJ46A, and the protein. So we will analyze it better and evaluate the inhibitory activity. Also, we are making a kinetic modeling, and in kinetic modeling, we are basically using some equations, and we are also using the literature of Tatiana Zapata Palacios, because we couldn't find a lot of information on BJ46A, but on her article she used the crotaline. It's an inhibitor for crotalus. It's not from both groups, but it's very similar, so it's safe to use it. We will get safe results. Here, you can see that the sequences are very similar. Only a few things are different, so we can use it. It's safe. Well, we are also using Michaelis-Menten equation. Our protein is it behaves as a Michaelis-Menten, so it means that this is the graphic. It will be like this, and it's also a non-allosteric protein, which means that we can use this formula to do our calculus. Also, we can use Ching-Persoff's equation. Well, we need to talk about this here, EC50. Well, basically, the mean inhibitory concentration is measured of the potency of the substrate to inhibit a substance with respect to a specific biologic or biochemical function. Those are the equations, and Ki means inhibit consent, and well, we are also using it.
To conclude, well, theophilic accidents are a problem that is really being neglected in our country, causing many deaths and problems in communities, far away communities and society in general. And that's why we are making this project to help this far away community, so help our country and worldwide community out in synthetic biology, in information, and causing some impact, some helpful impact in the world and society.
Thank you very much. I want you to know that we are very open for collaboration. So if anyone is interested, you can contact us by Instagram. This is our Instagram and this is our email. So feel free to do it. And thank you a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for your presentation. Now I would like to call the next Team Costa Rica. They have participated in iGEM competition in the years of 2016 with Project Prostal, 2019 with Diff Fizzy, 2021 with Chronobacter, and they are participating this year's global competition with Project Chassis. Please do not forget to register in the event. The link will be in the comment section so you can participate in tomorrow's Zoom call. And also, if you have any doubts, you can send them in the Google Forms. They will be answered tomorrow in the Zoom call.
Okay, well, let me share my presentation. Well, first, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Melissa Cerdas, and with me we have Alejandro Chavez Martinez too. We are from Costa Rica, iGEM team for 2022, and our project is called Chassis. But first, I want to tell you a little bit about our project, the problem that we are solving. As you all may know, Lactobacillus casei is a commonly used microorganism to make yogurt. The problem is that the community hasn't explored these organisms' true capabilities to produce more nutritious yogurt, nor its potential to be applied in other industries due to its great potential as a bioengineered probiotic. Through our way in this competition, we began talking with different iGEM teams from Costa Rica. In this case, the FISI team from Costa Rica iGEM team in 2019, which are our current mentors. We were talking about our project, and they proposed the use of Lactobacillus casei as a probiotic to fight against Clostridium difficile. But they found a lot of problems through the competition because working with Lactobacillus casei is a little bit complicated since it hasn't been really well characterized, and there are no plasmids available, nor parts like promoters, RBS, terminators, etc. So, inspired by this, we went through historical research for iGEM teams since 2003, and we found out that over 130 teams have been working with probiotics, but there has now been a lot of success with Lactobacillus casei because the transformation process and the use of plasmids and also the promoters are complicated for this species. But it is a really novel microorganism to work with in many different industries. And for this, we got inspired to have an alliance with the Costa Rica Chamber of Industries. And this allowed us to contact many important people here in Costa Rica and also internationally. And so we get to work with the food industry, the agriculture industry, and also the medical industry to know how they have been working with Lactobacillus casei and which the problem is and how could we solve it by characterizing this microorganism in the synthetic biology way. And so we found out that many of their problems could be really solved by characterizing these microorganisms. So here we have our response as a solution to this problematic, and is the fact that we are proposing the characterization of Lactobacillus casei and program it to be a versatile microorganism that can be applied in different industries, taking advantages over its potential. And since it is a grass microorganism that you all may know, it can be applied in the future as a cell-free system. And so we are considering the kill switch process to the biocontainment issues that we are already facing. And so it could have many possible applications because when we were talking to all these industry, hospitals, food industry in the yogurt waste, dairy products, and also agriculture waste, we found out many possible applications that can be used to have a proof of concept for our project. And so this could be making more nutritive food like yogurt, and natural sweeteners, that it is a real problem here in Costa Rica that we need to have an alternative for natural sweeteners as the customers are asking for that, and also suitable processing for the agricultural residues, because since Costa Rica is based on agricultural processes, we generate a lot of waste, and we can use and improve Lactobacillus casei to use it to make really valuable products from residues. And also, not forgetting the medical industries, Lactobacillus casei could really be applied for diagnosis and disease treatment, and also as biosensors and many other possibilities that we've been talking with many hospitals and medical industry here in Costa Rica. It is really relevant for us to work with this, especially with the dairy products, because it is a very important market for our country. Costa Rica exports around $156 million per year. And not only exportation, but also Costa Rica consumes around 217 kilograms of dairy products per year. This is more than double of any other Central American country. But we are not only consume and get a lot of nutrients for dairy products, but we also tend to buy new products in market, and we also tend to see what are this industry giving us in exchange for this product. So we propose this Lactobacillus casei to give industries advantages for having more nutritious yogurts and giving in an easier way what people are asking for. And also in the agroindustrial sector in Costa Rica, 86% of the country's total waste can be treated in a suitable manner. And so Lactobacillus casei is a really novel microorganism for this. And I'm so glad to introduce you to our team, iGEM Costa Rica 2022. We are called CHASE, and we are very excited to be in this competition this year and getting to know you all once we get to Paris and working throughout this competition with many people. So here is our team. We are 80 students from 2 different universities of Costa Rica, the Instituto Tecnológico de Costa Rica and Universidad de Costa Rica. Here we have 4 biotechnology engineering students, also a communicator student, a design engineering student, an actuarial science for the math modeling part student, and also a computer engineering student. And finally, our great principal investigator, David Garcia, that has been with us through all this journey.
So now we want to explain a little bit more about the technical aspect of our project. And as Melissa was saying, we want to characterize Lactobacillus casei as a chassis for its use on synthetic biology. But for this, we need to find out different constructs that people could choose to develop different applications for this organism. So for this, we are going to characterize 6 promoters. 3 of them are indivisible promoters, and the other 3 are constitutive promoters. And we also are going to characterize 2 RBSs, 2 ribosome binding sites. So we're going to combine these different genetic parts, and at the end, we're going to have the 12 different constructs. And for example, we are going to have promoter 1 with RBS1 and promoter 1 with RBS2. So at the end, we are going to see the idea, to create the ideal toolkit for this next gen chassis. And for example, if someone requires to use Lactobacillus casei in the medical industry, maybe they can use a promoter that is inducible by biosalts. Or if someone requires Lactobacillus casei to produce certain protein in yogurt, they can use a promoter that is inducible by pH. So that's our main goal, to characterize these different constructs and to give like this kind of toolkit so people can choose the best construct for them regarding their application. But as Melissa was saying, we found out very interesting facts about Lactobacillus, and one of them was that even that there wasn't like an actual shuttle vector for Lactobacillus and E. coli. So it was really complicated for us to establish all the assembly part, because, for example, maybe there was a plasmid in a gene that worked with E. coli and Lactobacillus, but some of this plasmid had like a restriction site, I don't know, like in the selection marker gene, like in the resistance gene. For this, many of the plasmids that we were looking into, they weren't actually compatible with BioBreak assembly. So to make our own plasmid that is compatible with BioBreak assembly and with Golden Gate assembly, we did some research about different plasmids that work in Lactobacillus casei. And at the end, we decided to use 2 plasmids. One of them was the PSV1C3 plasmid that is commonly used for E. coli, and the PLM5 plasmid that is commonly used for Lactobacillus genus. So what we did was basically we fused these plasmids into one, and we created the PLVOV plasmid. This plasmid that we created has chloramphenicol resistant gene and an erythromycin resistant gene for lactobacillus. Thank you. Also, we really care about biosafety. So we are going to develop a kill switch system that is based on an RNA thermometer and a repressor protein and a lysine. So basically, we have the RNA thermometer that is going to be regulated by the temperature in which Lactobacillus casei is going to be living. So, for example, if Lactobacillus casei is in a temperature between 32 degrees Celsius and 42 Celsius, the RNA thermometer is going to allow the production of a repressor protein. This repressor protein is going to regulate the expression of the lysine. So once the expression protein is expressed, the lysine is not going to be expressed. So the Lactobacillus casei is going to survive in that environment. So, for example, a common environment between these two temperatures is the human body. But once Lactobacillus casei is outside of the human body, for example, that's saying that it is in an environment that has a temperature lower than 32 Celsius and greater than 42 Celsius, the thermal RNA is not going to allow the expression of the repressor protein. So the repressible promoter is not going to be regulated, and the lysine is going to be produced, killing Lactobacillus casei when it is not in the environment that it was programmed for. And we're going to characterize this system using a GFP protein. And in the way where you can control in which environment Lactobacillus is going to be living and in which environment we are using this bacteria for the production of a protein of interest.
So now it is very important for us to tell you a little bit more about our collaborations and what we've been working for. And so right now we're working with Yale University and also with the University of Biotech Ec, and Imperial College in London. This collaboration specifically, they are working with this types of assembly in an automation process. And so it is very important for us also to get in touch with different projects, because we want to know how do LATAM projects do all the assemble process if they do it like us and not in the automation way, but in the laboratory step by step. And so, yeah, we've been collaborating with this, and recently we've been also collaborating with Tokyo High School in this competition, and we are very excited for that, and we are open also to collaborate with any team that is interested in. We are also, we couldn't put it in the presentation, but through our human practices, well, here's our information, our email, our phone number for the WhatsApp, and also our iGEM account for Instagram. And finally, we want to thank our collaborators. The Costa Rica Chamber of Industry has been really important for us, because this is the way that we've been contacting decision makers of the region and different important people from the industries. Also, the Inter-American Institute for Agricultural Cooperation, also known as IICA. We want to thank this for making our human practice possible. For this, we've been able to contact many industries, Capitara Sur, Clínica Bíblica, the hospital, and also Nikos, a lot of industries that have been on the way and has let this be possible. And also thanks to our sponsors, because without them, it could have been possible. And again, thank you so much for letting us be here telling about our project. And if you have any doubts, any questions, or if you're interested in collaborating with us, you can contact. And so thank you.
Oh, you're not listening. Thank you for your presentation. I would like to call Team Biotech from Ecuador. Most of their team members are from Ecuador, but they have one participant from Peru. Today, they have 20 members from different career paths, such as biology, mechatronic, and biotechnology. They have participated in the last edition of iGEM Design with the project EC-BAB that detects babesiosis in cattle, and this year they are presenting a new project also in iGEM Design.
Hello, everybody. Yeah. So I am part of iGEM Biotech Ec. Today I will be your lecturer. I am the coordinator of the Arts and Creativity Committee. I am glad to be part of this event and also to have the opportunity to also help expand the science and help and change also Ecuador. Right now, I am part of the team since 2021, and I have seen also the evolution of our team and how it has changed and become a reference in Ecuador. So I am very proud of my team. So, iGEM Biotech Ec started in 2021 with a group of 18 university students. Most of us were biotech students. That's why we chose our name of Biotech Ec. We also had a math student and also a biology student. So we had our project and created our project based on Babesia bovis, and it was the project of 2021. So most of us are part of the University of Excellence, and others are part of Tech. So these two universities are universities of excellence here in Ecuador. And thanks to the collaboration, not just from the students from ESPE and Yachay, but also from our professors, we have a multidisciplinary team. We could excel in our first year as an iGEM Design League team, becoming a reference here in our university and also in the country. Okay, so we had at 2021, we had a project called EasyBAP. So in this first edition of iGEM Design League, which is a competition that is focused on creating symbio projects in Latin America, we developed a rapid detection test called EasyBAP. EC comes from Ecuador, and BAP becomes from Babesia bovis. So here I present you the graphical abstract for the project EasyBAP, which is a detection test for this Babesia bovis that I will tell you right now. So part of Ecuador's economy is based on cattle, and great part of our population have some sort of relation with this market. So that's why we focused on this project for this area, for the cattle. So thanks to the human practices that we had in our team, we found out that the hemoparasites are a latent threat here in the tropical region, which we are part, Ecuador is part. So these hemoparasites are a threat, and especially Babesia bovis, because they cause health problems in cattle, which causes a decrease in the quality of the direct products and also in the cattleman's profit. So that's why we focused in this area. So to talk about a little bit of this detection test, we wanted to create a test that will be easy for the person who is manipulating it to know if there is Babesia or a hemoparasite in this test. So we plan to have a blood sample and put it in a paper with a technology called toe hole switch that can detect biomolecular part of the hemoparasite. So with this, we could have a result. And so we wanted also to be very easy to read. So we used colors in order to see if it is a positive test or not. So that's why it is called EasyMap, because it is for easy manipulation, and also because we found out by doing investigation in human practices that people that live with cattle and also manage cattle live in areas where laboratories are not easy to be found. So that's why we needed to have a rapid test in order to know to know if our cattle has a hemoparasite in their blood, so we could act immediately. That's why we created this project. So now I will talk more about what we did in the part of I'm sorry, I have a technical problem here. So I will talk about a bit of the activities that we had in our project during 2021. So we made a lot of collaborations with other teams, and also we focused ourselves to have also an art and creativity part, which I was directly working with that. And we asked people to draw what was synthetic biology for them. Why we did that? Because here in Ecuador, synthetic biology is not well known, and most of students of university don't know about that. Even people from biotechnology careers don't know about this type of technology. So that's why we wanted to teach people what is synthetic biology, and also because we have right now a problem that in Ecuador, some genetic edition is also prohibited by law. And most of synthetic biology, its main use is for genetic edition. So we found that when educating people of what is synthetic biology, what things could be done by it, and also the benefits that it could bring to us, it will be better for everybody. And also, we could diminish that fear of people for addition and genetics and biotechnology. Well, thanks to all the work that we have done, we were winners in this part. We were gold medal winners. Also, there's some pictures of the award ceremony of iGEM Design League of 2021. We did all of our work via online. It was during the pandemic, so that was an additional challenge for us. To work with a group of people that we barely know each other. But during the days of work and also the products that we were making, we became very united, and also we became much more efficient in our work. The people that you're seeing in these photos were people that didn't know about synthetic biology at the beginning. They started learning during the competition, and they started studying what was synthetic biology, what we could do with that, and that's how we become the team that we are now. We are very proactive too. So for this team in 2021, we had many special prizes, which were the best health diagnostics therapeutics, Best Genetic Circuit Design, and Best Promotional Video. And we were also part of the top 6 finalists, and we are very happy to be part of them. Also, we have some nominations like Best Computational Biology Approach and also Best Arts Approach. So now I can see that all the work that we have done during the last year was very worth it, because we could be a reference here in our universities and also in Ecuador, and people wanted to work with us too. They want to learn what is synthetic biology, and we have had even volunteers from other universities and also from other countries to be part of our team because they like what we do. So in 2022, we have the same team, iGEM Biotech Ec, but with new members. Now we have expanded to more universities here in Ecuador, and we have a member of Peru right now. And we are very glad to have this type of engagement of people to ourselves. So we divided our team in 3 categories or 3 groups. That is modeling, human practices, and circuit design. And right now we are working in a new project that relates to a parasite production. And we are very glad to be part of this new edition of the iGEM Design League. So we had many experiences during this competition. Most of our challenges were of time, and also the type of working that we didn't have before pandemic. That's why we learn how to work with many people that have different ideas and also different perspectives. That was a challenge and also advantage for us, because we could have different perspectives of everybody, and also new and more interesting ideas and proposals for our new project. So right now, what we want is to expand ourselves and help other people know what is synthetic biology here in Ecuador, and also that people in Ecuador don't have that fear we don't want that people here in Ecuador have that fear of using biotechnology or using some genetic tools to create new products that are good for our future. That's why we in our social media we have many infographics telling people what is synthetic biology, what we can do with synthetic biology, so that people will not have this fear and will know that there are many benefits for that. And well, if you want to contact us and also have some collaboration with us, you can look for us in Facebook, Instagram, and also you can chat with us via email if you are interested. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Natalie, for your presentation. I really like your project. Thank you guys for your presence. I want to thank the lecturers, the teams, especially Giulio and Emilio, for the presentation and for the presence. This was the last team for today's meetup. And I want to remember you guys to sign up for the second day so we can have a talk on Zoom about the project, and you can ask questions. And if you have any questions, you can send them in the question link that we sent in the chat. So we are going to use them tomorrow in a Q&A, and they are going to be answered. Also, the recording for today's presentations, they will be available in our channel, so you can, if you lost any part of the meeting, or if you want to rewatch it, you can check it out. It's going to be available there. And also the course that my team is promoting, the link for the sign up is also available. Do not lose this opportunity. The course is going to be amazing. We'll have practical and theoretical classes and a lot of lectures with different themes that can help you build up a project in synthetic biology from the ground. So you should definitely check that out. So again, thank you so much for everyone present. Thank you for the lecturers and the teams showing up and presenting their projects. I see you guys tomorrow.